Hi, welcome to my happy place. Today we are going to finish our Spin Effects. My Spin Effects 6 set has come in. One thing I want you to notice is that the Spin Effects 6, the new sets come with a needle channel rather than the key. What the advantage is to this is that we don't have a key to lose. It really is not a difficult thing to maneuver, and you will get used to it very quickly. We have a lot of markings up here on the top and the bottom. This would be the bottom. Here is the space for the tack. Like all the rest of our Spin Effects templates, this comes as a five template set, 3.5, 5.5, 7.5, 9.5, and 11.5. Now, I just want to make sure that you understand that these numbers do not mean from the center out. It means from tip to tip. So if I'm using a 7.5 inch template, it's going to be 7.5 inches from here to here. Just want to double check that with you. Sometimes we forget that stuff. So anyway, what we've got here, of course, is our picture of our templates, and I'm using a low shank machine. What you'll notice when you open the paper is that it says we are available in 7 sizes. So we've got the 5 size of the collection, but we also have a mini 2.5 inch and 1.5 inch. This template is definitely directional. We're going to be doing 8 rotations in this orientation and 16 rotations in this orientation. On the back, we of course have some more pictures of some different designs that you can do with them, along with a short bio about Leonie West, the designer and inventor of Westalee Templates and Rulers. So let's go ahead and get a start on this. As I said, we're using the 7.5 inch. I'm going to, there we go. I'm going to just get a little extra light on the subject there. And I am going to, there we go. I'm going to do some thread pulling here and get those threads up from under my grid glider. Now, I just want to make sure that my fabric moves freely under the needle or under the foot. I'm sorry, what we want is we want our foot to just kiss the top of that fabric. I'm just going to do a few stitches here. I want to make sure that my tension is correct and my foot height is correct. So what's going to happen if your foot height is too high? If it's too high, you'll end up with skip stitches. If it's too low, you're going to have a really difficult time moving things. Now, what my stitching shows me is that my tension is really, really good. I don't see any of the top fabric on the back, and I don't see any of the back thread on the bobbin thread on the front. So let's go ahead and let's set our template down. I'm going to put my foot down and my needle down right at that crosshair. We have made 16 rotation lines or reference lines for this particular template. Actually, we've done that with all of our templates, so it's really nothing new. Okay, so I'm going to pull my bobbin thread up, get my foot down, make sure everything is lined up. And when I say everything is lined up, I have a vertical line here, a vertical line behind the foot, and a horizontal line here. Now I'm going to put my needle down. I'm going to draw you in just a little bit here. There we go. Doesn't have to be a lot. I'm going to keep the template and the block in this orientation simply for you to see. You know, it's behind this machine, you would not see it. Okay, one stitch in place, and then off we go. Like we did with all of our spin effects, we're going to go from side to side. We're going to do the vertical orientation on the bottom, and then we're going to do the vertical orientation on the top. Here is where our needle channel is, and what you'll see is you just float right past it, no problems. Okay, back to center. If you have a needle up, needle down function, you should use it. Now, I know most of you are accustomed to seeing me working on my 301, which is my machine of choice for doing ruler work. But I decided to grab my, it's called a QVP 4000 by Juki. I want you to see that indeed I do have other machines, and indeed they are usable. It's just as easy to do it with this machine as it is with my 301. Okay, I'm going to stop right here and twist, because what I want to do is I want to cut that thread out right here. You want to be very careful not to move your template, but we want to get that thread out of there. And the reason being is that it is going to be, that area is going to be sewn over multiple times, and therefore it will lock in those first few stitches for us, and then we won't have any issues. Okay, here's 2. Now I'm going to come and do number 3 and 4. Go at the speed that you're most comfortable with. If you're comfortable going a little faster, go a little faster. If you're comfortable going slower, go slower. It's entirely up to you. This is your project. This is your machine. These are your templates. You do it the way you want. And I don't think anybody's going to have an issue with that. Okay, there's my 3rd rotation, and here is my 4th. And when I get the 4th one in, what I'm going to do is I am going to take the template off so you can see what it looks like. Then we're going to go back and fill in the next 4 rotations, which will be on the 45-degree angled lines. Right here, you notice there's a little bit of a peak here. So what we want to do is we want to take an extra stitch there. You don't want to take too many though, because it can form a thread ball back there, and you don't want to. These are quilt as you go projects, so we want the back to look as nice as the front, right? Okay, so here I go. You see how easy that comes out? Here is 4 rotations. Okay, we're going to take this and put the other 4 rotations in now, and again I'm going to go from one side to the other. And off we go with our 5th rotation. This is kind of a really fun project, and I'm going to show you how we're going to finish the blocks. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to take these Spin Effects templates and we're going to use them in a different manner. And we will end up with 32 blocks to put together. Isn't that awesome? The finished size of each block will be 9 inches. So this is going to be a pretty good sized quilt when we're done with it. Of course, you don't need to make it as large as I'm making it. If you don't have all the templates, no worries, just make it a little smaller. Or use your favorite template more than once. Okay, so there's number 6. Here goes, this is number 7. Just need to move that just one little bit. And remember, when we get to the top, we're going to take that extra stitch in there. I also like to remind everyone that when I'm doing a curve, a circle, a curve, anything like that, I do like to shorten up my stitch length just a little bit. Our machines only stitch in a straight line. So what we want to do is shorten up that stitch length, and what it will do is it will give the illusion of the curve being much smoother. And that's exactly what we want. There we go. And this will be rotation number 8. Okay, and there we go, back to the center. And we're going to go ahead and take the template off. You see how easy that is? And there's 8 rotations. I'm really liking this. I am really liking it. There we've got 8. Now we're going to go ahead and put 8 more in for 16 rotations. So I'm going to start here. And even when I'm doing this, I'm going to go here, then here, here, here. I'm always going to go opposite sides. And the reason that we do that is because we want our fabric to shrink in, because it does. The stitches make it shrink in, but we want it to shrink in an even rate. And going opposite sides helps us to get that stitching, pulling that block in quite evenly. If you go around it, which you can do if you want, I think what happens though is we end up with a lot more waviness and wonkiness in the block, and we want to avoid that if we can. So here we go. I'm going to go to the one directly across from it. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put in the rest of these rotations, and then we'll meet you back here. Okay, we're back with our last rotation. And again, keeping that stitch length just a little bit shorter because of the curviness of this particular template. I want those curves to be nice and smooth. And in order to make sure they are, I just shorten my stitch length a little bit. Now, if I have a template that has curvy parts and straight parts, what I will do is keep my stitch length short for the entire template. Okay, I don't do part of the template with a short stitch length and part with a long stitch length. Okay, so we're going to pull the needle and we're going to pull our foot up. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut that. And now we're going to back out a little bit so you can see the entire design. And there it is. And that is our Spin Effect 6. So what we're going to be doing is we are going to go ahead and we are going to color in our templates, or our designs, I should say. And we will then do some embellishment on the blocks. You'll see I've got a circle around here and some channel stitching. And here's just a couple of the blocks for you to see how they've turned out. I am not unhappy with these. I really am not. I used kind of more color crayon kind of, instead of, some of them I've done really loud. I call this loud. The other ones I did kind of soft. So, I mean, I have a good mix of them. Some are really a lot more intense than others. And I know you can't see this real well on camera. I wish it would turn out better than it does, but you get the idea. So here's another one. I want you to use your imagination. Just think of things you like. If you want to make them all one color family, nothing wrong with that. Go for it. Go ahead and do it. I didn't, but that's okay. It's individual. This is what makes it yours, and truly and only yours. And that's going to be the way that you fill these in with the color, the Inktense pencils. And don't forget the fabric medium. Now, it's the fabric medium that makes these washable, dry cleanable, and permanent, okay? There has been, I found on the internet, some places where some people actually did a little bit of an experiment, and they used the aloe vera gel or just plain water, and they used the fabric medium. The fabric medium held the color the best. I also like to heat set it. It's not necessary, but I go ahead and do it. It's not going to hurt anything. I usually we have to iron them to get our lines off anyway. And if you want to, you can color them in with the lines. The lines will come out after they're colored in. I like to take my lines out first, but it's entirely up to you. So I hope you've enjoyed this as much as I have, and I can't wait to hear some more from you. Don't forget to comment, like, and share, and come back and see where we're at, and we'll just keep adding templates, or we'll keep adding blocks, I mean. So until we meet again, let's quilt.